Welcome to Unseen Poland, a series where we discover places that do not appear on the front pages of guidebooks. This time, we travel to the surroundings of Lake Międzybrodskie and Lake Żywieckie, in the heart of the Little Beskids, a region that attracts with its tranquility, closeness to nature and the authenticity of local life. Among the green hills stand the towns and villages of Porąbka, Wilkowice, Wadowice and Wilkowice. In the tightly clustered houses, everyday life unfolds slowly, with a rhythm shaped by the weather and the seasons. The region lies only a short drive from tourist hotspots such as Szczyrk and Bielsko-Biała, yet it remains relatively unknown. This smaller scale of tourism brings benefits. Residents care for the landscape, organize local events, and promote regional crafts and cuisine. More agritourism farms and eco-initiatives appear every year, aiming to attract visitors who wish to see the mountains from a different angle, less commercial and more personal. Among the trees, on the slopes and in the valleys, you can spot hidden houses and farmsteads. They are often difficult to reach, with narrow, winding roads leading to them. People here live close to nature, surrounded by greenery and silence, far from larger settlements. The intimate architecture, almost blending into the landscape, creates a distinctive atmosphere that unites the region's heritage with its natural beauty. The Little Beskids are also a place where efforts are made to spread tourism more evenly. In response to the crowded trails of Szczyrk, and Wisła, new maps of alternative routes and markings of lesser-known mountain passes are being developed. Local communities keep traditions alive by organizing workshops, historical reenactments, and educational events that connect residents with visitors. More and more travelers discover that the true beauty of these mountains lie not in the crowds, but in the quiet valleys. The rustle of forest leaves and the stories passed down from one generation to the next. The slopes of the Little Beskids rise above the lakes, covered with dense mixed forests, dominated by beech, fir and spruce. These are gentle, yet at times steep mountains, whose ridges conceal peaceful glades and narrow paths.
Poziom 660 metrów, naprzeciwko 600 prawie 90. Witam serdecznie i chcę Państwa zachęcić, żeby odwiedzać nasze urokliwe, piękne polany, piękne śródleśne polany schowane w Beskidzie Śląskim z piękną panoramą na Beskid Mały. Dzisiaj znajdujemy się przy chacie na Groniu. Chata ma około 150 lat. Wszystkich spragnionych podróżujących po szlakach turystycznych, a mamy ich dwa, żółty i czarny, witamy i staramy się ich jak najlepiej ugościć. Będzie nam miło również Państwa. Żółty szlak biegnie z Wilkowic pod właśnie szczytu Magórki Wilkowickiej w Beskidzie Małym, przez chatę aż na Klimczok, drugi jakby pod reglami z Bystrej spod źródła do Szczyrku, do sanktuarium maryjnego na Górce. W okolicy najwyższe drzewa w Polsce, znalezione przez nadleśników ze Szczyrku. Mówi o nich taka atrakcyjna tablica. 500 metrów stąd, piękne daglezje posadzone jeszcze przez Habsburgów, mają ponad 130 lat. Bibułkarstwo żywieckie to jeden z atrakcji naszego regionu. Te kwiaty stworzyła i tworzy moja mama, ma 84 lata. Naszym gościom życzymy zawsze mocnych dębowych nóg. I Państwu życzę, żebyście na tych mocnych dębowych nogach w swoim życiu daleko zaszli. Wysoko zaszli, dużo przynieśli, a my wam to wszystko pomożemy wydać. Hej!
Hatanagroniu is one of those places that bring together the tradition and hospitality of the Highlanders with the special atmosphere of the Silesian Beskids. The wooden walls and the forest around it let you feel the true spirit of the region. It is not just a point on the map, it is a place to pause, to rest and to enjoy the silence. Guests can warm themselves by the fireplace, admire the mountain panorama and taste local dishes served with the warmth of a family home. The cottage stands on a picturesque hill in the Silesian Beskids, near the peak of Gajki, between the valleys of Żywiec and Soa rivers. Surrounded by dense forests and quiet walking paths, it is an ideal starting point for both short strolls and longer mountain hikes. Because it lies away from the main roads, it keeps its peaceful, almost idyllic character, while still being easy for travelers to reach. The castle in Wadowice stands in the very center of the village, surrounded by greenery and a wide park. It was built in the 17th century in the late Renaissance style, with a distinctive mansard roof and a solid, simple form. Although it is not a defensive fortress in the strict sense, its austere shape shows its role as a gentry residence designed to combine dignity with practicality. In front of the castle stretches a well-tended park with avenues of old lime and maple trees. In the past, it served both as a walking garden and as a place of everyday life for the manor. A symmetrical garden with flowers and benches invites visitors to explore this relatively small residence. Together, the castle and its surroundings create a harmonious landscape that unites history, architecture, and nature. A story of the times when Wadowice was the center of local authority and social life. The Church of St. Simon and Jude Thaddeus in Wadowice is one of the most valuable examples of wooden sacred architecture in the region. Standing on a small hill, it enjoys a picturesque setting. Surrounded by a well-kept garden and trees, it radiates peace and spirituality. Built in the mid-18th century, the church has an irregular, polygonal plan that makes it different from many other wooden temples. Its shingle-covered roof, slender ridge turret and dark wooden walls give it a raw charm. The very shape of the church speaks of the skill of old carpenters and the strength of local building traditions. It remains an important landmark on both the spiritual and cultural map of the area. Magurka is one of the favorite walking spots in the Little Beskids, especially for those who seek peace and closeness to nature. The Yellow Trail leads from Wadowice through Magurka to the hamlet of Przysłop. It is a gentle route ideal for a few hours of hiking with views over the Soa Valley. The Black Trail, on the other hand, is shorter but steeper, starting in Wilkowice. It is popular with more experienced hikers. Both routes meet at the mountain hut on Magurka, creating convenient options for return trips or circular walks. This makes it easy to adjust the hike to your own abilities and the time you have. These are perfect grounds for a quiet walk. The paths are well marked and also accessible for families with children. Sunlight filters through the trees, painting shifting patterns of light and color. The walk through this forest is not only exercise in the fresh air, but also an opportunity for reflection. By the roadside chapels, you often find benches inviting you to pause for a moment and rest. Lake Żywiec was created in 1966 with the construction of a dam in Tresna on the Soa River. The dam itself is 39 meters high and more than 300 meters long, making it one of the largest structures of its kind in southern Poland. Its purpose was to protect against floods, produce electricity and store water, all of which proved vital for the entire region. This is a place where technical function meets recreation. The waters of the lake attract sailors, kayakers and anglers, while new walking and cycling paths are being developed along the shores. Although Lake Żywiec is man-made, it has blended beautifully into the natural landscape of the Beskids. The reservoir covers an area of around 10 square kilometers, with a maximum depth of 26 meters. The shoreline is varied. In some places it is forested, while in others it opens up to visitors with beaches, marinas and holiday resorts. On sunny days, the surface of the lake reflects the silhouettes of the surrounding mountains, creating truly remarkable views.
Znajdujemy się nad Jeziorem Żywieckim. Jest to zbiornik wody pitnej zalany w 60 latach. Jezioro ma dość w sumie czystą wodę. Można się w niej, myślę, że spokojnie kąpać. Górna część jakby dopływów, główna rzeka Soła została dość mocno, wszystkie wsie i miejscowości powyżej skanalizowane, dlatego mamy dość czystą wodę, co gwarantują nam, że spotykamy tutaj raki. Mamy również bobry, które żyją tutaj w naturze i oczywiście są pod ochroną. Dlatego bardzo często korzystają tutaj ludzie na pompowanych deskach, czyli supach, czy kajakach, rowerkach wodnych. Mamy dwie plaże, jedną miejską z ratownikiem i z nasypanym piaseczkiem, druga może mniej oficjalna, ale większa przy ulicy Plażowej, jak to się zwie. Bardzo duża plaża, tam też właśnie można rowerki, kajaki i supy sobie po prostu skorzystać, popływać. Żaglówki to jest moja i nie tylko moja pasja. Żeglujemy, mamy 10 km² jeziora do pływania. Uczymy żeglować, można wynająć sprzęt pływający, żaglówki, począwszy od omegi, jakichś większych łódek. Na jeziorze oczywiście jest wiele ośrodków, które posiadają kajaki, rowerki wodne, nowoczesne w tej chwili motorówki elektryczne. Niestety jesteśmy, albo stety jesteśmy jeziorem strefy ciszy. Nie można pływać na motorówkach o dużych koniach mechanicznych, nie hałasują nam tu dzięki temu. Oprócz rowerków wodnych i kajaków, które oczywiście są bez uprawnień, raczej większość łódek będzie wypożyczanych na jeziorze, wykazując co najmniej patent żeglarza jachtowego, czyli pierwsze uprawnienia żeglarskie, które nam są potrzebne, żeby można było wynająć typu najbardziej popularną polską konstrukcję Omegę albo większe jachty. Jeśli oczywiście ktoś nie posiada takich uprawnień, to większość jakby portów na jeziorze jest w stanie zaoferować sternika, czyli osobę, która poprowadzi Was, popłynie z Wami przez jezioro. Zobaczycie, no mamy z góry dookoła, myślę, że nie ma za dużo takich jezior i takich widoków na jeziorze. Oczywiście trzeba być przygotowanym jakby na każdą pogodę. Jesteśmy w górach, może nam się tu w każdej chwili zmienić pogoda, więc trzeba być na to przygotowanym.
Lake Żywiec is the true center of water sports in the Beskids, where movement and nature come together in harmony. Its wide surface and gentle waves create perfect conditions for sailing or for gliding quietly in a kayak. More and more often, you can also see people standing on SUP boards, moving in silence across the mirror of the lake. This activity combines mindfulness and balance, It keeps you connected to the water and helps you feel the rhythm of your own body against the mountain landscape. It is a calm effort, soothing rather than tiring. There are also inflatables and pedal boats, perfect for family outings. The lake is crossed by sailing boats too, from smaller vessels to larger yachts on the deeper waters. In the summer season, several marinas and rental centers operate here. In Żar and Tresna, among others, where you can hire a kayak, a SUP board or a sailboat. Some of them also offer courses and training with instructors, making the lake welcoming even for beginners. The sporting life of the lake is not only an attraction for tourists, it is also part of the identity of local people who have been connected with the water and with sailing for generations. No matter your level of experience, you can find something for yourself here, from gentle drifting to more intense activity in the rhythm of the mountain wind. The Żar funicular is one of the main attractions of the Little Beskids. The carriages climb more than 300 meters up the slope, offering views of Lake Żywiec and the surrounding peaks. Although it opened in 2004, its history goes back to the times when the track was used by the Mount Żar power plant to transport materials and workers. Transformed into the first recreational funicular of its kind in Poland, it now combines industrial heritage with the tourist spirit of the region. At the top of the Żar, the views are not the only attraction. This is also an excellent spot for mountain biking. The hill offers MTB trails of varying difficulty, from gentler recreational routes to steep technical descents for experienced riders. Żar regularly hosts downhill competitions and is a well-known point on Poland's cycling map. Equipment rentals and bike services are also available, making the place fully prepared for a sporting adventure. Riding down Żar is a true rush of adrenaline. Tight turns, natural obstacles and dynamic changes of terrain make every meter of the trail feel exciting. Racing between trees and rocks with the valley unfolding in the background, you can feel freedom and the pure joy of riding. It is not just a sport, but an intense experience that stays in your memory for a long time. From this height, the world seems to slow down. The mountains stretch into soft waves, the valleys fall silent, and everything blends into a calm and soothing landscape. The panorama from the summit holds a rare harmony. It does not impress with drama, but it captivates with balance and gentleness. This is a space that asks for no words and no hassle, only for your gaze. Everyone who reaches this place is given a moment of rest and an invitation to pause, for a while or for longer, to notice the beauty in simplicity and silence. The Little Beskids are a land where nature and people coexist in harmony, without hurry, with respect for tradition, landscape, and local life. It is the perfect place to end our journey. For here, among the quiet spaces and gentle lines of the hills, you can best understand that the beauty of Poland does not always need to be discovered anew. Sometimes it only needs to be seen.